Hello and welcome to Cutter Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV Upper Mississippi River Valley, and as you can see, we've let these workers do their thing a little bit off camera here since last episode. I have to say, everything has been running exceptionally smooth with our trucks and dumping things into our new storage harvest store, and we're going to wrap this field up here in just a moment. As you can see, I've got two semis out here unloading right now. They were both empty a moment ago when I started the courses off. If I look over here, though, our red semi is already sitting up here, and it looks like our harvest store might be full. So if we hop into the production menu, we are indeed full here. And what I did off camera is I also set one of the three trucks to continue to go into the main farm harvest store so that we'd keep the chaff filled up on that side. So as you can see, both of these are full, which means I'm going to need another one of these harvest stores if we're going to keep going today. We're probably going to need two more of them. And it is only the 2nd of September. I do want to move time forward here because that's going to allow some of this chaff to move into silage. However, I think no matter what I do, we're going to need at least one more of these harvest stores. So let me come into the bank here. We have been debt free. However, it is time for us to spend a little bit of money, and I don't want to wait for the next day. It costs $250,000 to get one of these harvest stores set up. So I'm going to take out the full $250,000 loan, and we'll pay that back here in the next couple of months. I'm not too worried about it. I would rather keep things going at this point than bootstrap myself by not spending a little bit of interest to get ourselves moving. Let me see here. I like snapping. There we go. That's much better. Let me make sure we're lined up appropriately. I want these to be as close as I can get them, and I want them in a straight line in case we need to put down more of them. How close do I want them, though? I'm going to separate them a little bit just to make sure I can get auto drive to know the difference between one to the next. So if I put that there, it should work out pretty well. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop this auto drive course. We're going to move forward here a bit, and I'm going to see if I can change one of these other points to be harvest store number 2's dump point, like this one right here. If I edit this and call this harvest store 2 dump, and then I switch this out and hit go, we should start dumping there. It'll be a little bit confusing because the labels are actually offset by a full semi length here. However, I'll just have to pay attention. I know what's going on there. And we've got this chaff moving into this second harvest store, and the only other thing we need to do then is activate it so that we are processing all of this into silage. There we go. And since we're almost done with this field, we've got 2 more days in September. I'm going to bump the time up here while we finish things up. This guy's dumping. He's good. He's going to drive back out to the field, and everybody else is done out here and finished up. So let's go ahead and shut these workers down so that nothing confusing happens here. And we're going to go ahead and take these guys over to our next cornfield and get everything set up. We don't need this big complicated play course anymore. And this is the one reason that I do still run the follow me mod. Is it's very easy to relocate some of the equipment when we need to. And let me see if I can remember, is it right control F? Yeah, right control F. And I believe he's following the correct target here. Let me see. I'm hoping he didn't get hooked up to that Peterbilt truck, which I think I also left running. Nope, but it might be in the way. Oh, no, he's going to figure it out. Look at that. I love when things are smarter than I expect. I spoke too soon. It looks like our guy couldn't figure it out after all. He might have put himself in a ditch over there. Oh, well, it won't take but a moment to go over there and get him brought to this field. I am going to just jump right in, though, and get course play set up at least. Just because then I can copy the course over to the other worker when we have to switch over there anyway. So course play field work. Field position right in front of us, generate a course. I'm going to go for more headlands, and this spiral effect didn't really work out how I had hoped on the previous attempt there. So I think we're going to just go back to doing, I don't know, maybe we'll try a lands mode on this one and see what happens. That does look a lot better, and we did 3 headland passes this time, so it should kind of give us a lot more space and smooth things out here a bit. And yeah, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll sort it out next time. First waypoint left. I'm going to start this guy out, and then I am going to copy this course. And then I'll step over to our other guy here, and we're going to get him going. Now, I need to set this guy to field 24. I feel like I should have done that on the other one. I'm seeing our semi take off here, and I don't know if he's set up on auto drive. He's trying to figure out how to get to that other worker that we just enabled on that other field. That's going to be a complete disaster. He's off into the ditch, and I'll be fishing him out. My goodness. It's the little things like that that sometimes I forget to think about, like switching the field settings on auto drive, and then the workers just go off and do the craziest things. However, we are all set with this worker as well, so I'm going to set him to first waypoint, and my goal is I'm going to try and get both of these trucks, or both of these choppers, moving at the same time here, and then I will be able to hopefully drive around the headlands with them with a single truck and keep both choppers moving. So let me just fix this guy here, and we are going to be on field 24 moving forward, and he has gone and gotten himself very stuck. All right, after some mild finagling, we managed to fish this semi out of the ditch. And my thought process right now is let's get right up behind this first chopper and see if we can help him figure out how to get to the first waypoint. And then once we do that, I'm hoping to grab the second chopper and bring him in here. I'm not liking driving over tons of crops. Okay, now I don't want to get too far because I want both of them to feed into me at the same time. So I figure if I can drive behind the first guy and then be alongside the guy on the right, that this is going to work out the best. So I'm going to scooch over there. Wow, that was a much bigger drop off than I was anticipating. It's a good thing I'm not farming this in real life, or we would have completely wrecked this very expensive equipment by now. I'm going to start this off now, try and clean up this little bit that we are driving over. And of course, he's got a follow distance on this other guy. I don't know if he's going to catch up then or not. He probably won't, unfortunately. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, that was a great thought, but I don't remember where to set that. And honestly, if I reduce the course play distances, they're going to have struggles anyway. They're going to run into each other, I feel like. Man, it's really irking me, though. Let me just bring this menu up here. Yeah, it's not in here anymore. There used to be a setting right here that you could adjust that distance with, but I think it's now in one of the advanced setting menus. So we'll just take this guy around for the first course, get this opened up, and then I'll start him off with auto drive, and we'll get another semi out here to run the second chopper, and we'll just go from there. It'll be fine. Because if I let auto drive try to follow this semi around the outside of the field, I'm going to spend all episode fishing him out of this ditch over here, and that's just no fun for anybody. So we'll keep moving here, And I did want to honestly run the field on the next day of September, so maybe what I'll do is I'll move time forward here while we're opening up this headland, and then we can see how well our farm is doing as far as generating silage, feed, and animal growth, because I'm excited to see these animals get to the next stage. I do think October is going to be the month where we start getting a second barn's worth of milk every day, which will be great because we need that money. I had to take out a loan, which is something I didn't think we'd have to do again in this series, but I'd rather keep expanding and keep this farm moving than give up on that and bootstrap ourselves any further. I feel like we've hit a point where we just need to keep scaling everything on this farm to be able to keep progressing. Well, there's some lights, very nice. I'm gonna run over a few of these stragglers because if I leave them there, it's just one more thing for auto drive to get confused by. And it's starting to get late, starting to get dark here. Let's move the time forward, and oh, of course it's gonna rain. Let's just shut this all down here then, and we'll wait for the rain to stop as I move the time forward. All right, we are into the next day, and we've got enough money to pay off that loan already, so we're gonna make sure we do that before I forget. And my goodness, the time is still ticking. I'm gonna get just past like 8:30 here, 9 o'clock maybe, and we're gonna slow this back down just because then I've got enough light to work here. Gets rid of a little bit of that haze when we get past the morning. I just don't want to go too far and then find myself in the dark again or with some bad weather that we didn't expect. This guy is still going on opening up the headlands. However, before we continue that, what I wanted to do, I was bringing a truck out here to this other field, is I'm going to drive alongside this chopper for a little bit just to get him started on the headland pass, so that as I catch up and come around with the lead chopper here, we're not in the way, and I can kind of let things continue here. Now ideally I would start off the driver and hope that he stays engaged with this chopper the entire time, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, so I'm just going to let him take the corner. We're going to hit the button. We're going to try it real quick and see if he'll stay connected to the chopper that he's driving with right now. It looks like he might, and then that'll leave us available to run with this guy. I like it. And I suppose I could always set this guy to a different field so that he's not calling one of the automated semis to come and catch up. But where's the fun in that? I'm really taking this corner kind of close to the slant there. Should probably be hugging the field a little bit closer. In fact, I should probably get behind the header of the chopper here, because this is looking mighty steep and I do not want to end up in that ravine. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually any better of a driver than the goofball AIs that we rely on. I'm gonna need a little bit more oomph here though, so I'm trying to find a good gear to balance things out. I suppose I could always actually use the speed sync mod and have it match the speed. I'm hoping I can actually finish opening this field up with this truck. Beginning to wonder if we're gonna get full before we make it all the way around the headland. Just checking in real quick here. We did process some of the chaff in these. It looks like all of the chaff in our main one got processed into silage, and these are apparently set up much slower. Which is unfortunate. I guess I had thought they were a little bit closer. And honestly, if I'm looking at this, it looks like we're completely out of chaff on this one. So we need to make sure that we're dumping back in the main farm with this load when it's full. I'm going to switch that out right now. And as soon as we get back to a point where I could send this truck up there, I think that's going to be the plan, because I want to make sure we're continuing to process as much chaff as possible here as we tackle this field. This field is our largest field so far, so we need to make sure we're keeping everything moving. We're going to get a a lot more off of this field than we gotten off of either of the other ones, I suspect. So we'll see if we can make do with the 3 harvestors we have now, or if I'm going to end up having to place a 4th one down, or a 3rd expansion one in that new area. We do have enough room to do that, so if it comes to it, I think that's what we'll do. But I'm enjoying how smoothly this operation has been working for us here. It's been a nice change of pace to have things more or less work. We've had a few issues with semis ending up in ravines and such, but for the most part, this is the part of the game that I love, is when I can scale the farm and the automation isn't incredibly frustrating. We can get things done and really make some progress. I feel like the last few episodes is the first time we've gone through the silage process on the farm, and I haven't felt incredibly frustrated, so we're really getting into it now. Well, we're making it to the back corner of the field here. We've still got to go all the way down this long side of the field, and I'm already at 85%, so I just don't think we're going to end up making it. I am going to do our best, though, to get lost in the trees here, apparently. Oh, telephone pole. I didn't hit that. Look at that. Oh, the little thing isn't even touching it, and I'm stuck. I blame farm sim physics. That wasn't a real collision, but we're gonna make it as far as we can. I'm really hoping I make it to this driveway down here by the poles. That would be a perfect spot for me to sneak out here and attempt to take this back up to the farm and get that main silo converting this into silage for us. It's gonna be close though. Looks like we're gonna make it. I am not going to push my luck though. I don't think I'm gonna have a good time trying to turn around and come back out to this driveway, so I'm gonna let it go just a few feet past me like so. We're at 99% anyway, and I'm gonna turn right out of here as it keeps trying to put the last few percent in there. That's okay. And off we go to get to the farmyard. Now, I do not have an auto drive course off of this side of the road here yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and drive out to the main road. I think as soon as I get up to that next road, we'll have a course that this can take back. Won't be a problem once we get moving on the next part and we can get to the driveway and all the headlands are off. But in the short term here, I think we're just going to have to take care of this manually. Now, because this is a two-way course, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm lined up on the right side of it before we send him on the way. There we go. Looks good. And it looks like this guy got stuck off the road here. So I'm going to try and pick him back up. And now I need to come over here. We got to get this guy moving, and I'll bring him out to the guy who was helping go around the headland passes, and hopefully I'll be able to catch up with him before anything crazy happens and help him finish opening up this field. Once we get this opening headland spot done, everything else gets easier from there. Alright, hopefully I've pulled forward far enough with this that I can just swing right in behind and keep going. It looks like everything's going to work out great. I love it when a plan comes together. And I was worried that other truck, when I dug him out of the ditch, was going to zip over here and try and handle this guy instead of the one that he was nearer to, but it looks like they're still progressing over there. Let me bring up the big map. Yep. I like it when I see both workers sitting right next to each other. It means that they're doing their thing and somebody's not stuck in a ditch somewhere. So we'll just keep going here, finish opening up this field, and set everybody up to be automated at that point. I've got the red guy on dump, the main farm dump, so I'm going to put this guy onto dump 2. Because I think that's what I had the red one set to. And this is going to let me, when I do enable him after we get to the end of the headlands here, have one of the trucks going to each of the different points. I think that's going to be the best plan here. I know dump 2 had the most capacity. Actually, I should probably not have anybody set onto dump 1. Steel silo 2 here. Yeah, we don't have enough to put a truck in there. I can put a couple trucks there, and I can definitely put a couple trucks here. So maybe I'll have 2 of them go into the main farm and 1 of them go into dump 2 here. So the blue truck is going to handle dump 2. Everybody else is going to go to the main farm for now, since the main farm is processing materials faster. And it's the production point that's making our feed. So eventually I'm going to have to move this silage from these secondary harvesters into that one anyway. So this is going to be the easiest way to take care of all that. So now that we have come to the end of the first pass for the headlands, I'm gonna let this guy get lined up on the next round or rows here, and then I'm gonna start him off before that other semi gets out here again. I don't want the red semi trying to take over for this guy. I'd rather have this one finish getting filled up, and I'll just let him make the corner, because the corners are always kind of difficult for these semis. And should be good to go now. Is this semi, or this guy's not set up for the right field? Well, that would be why. Well, that actually worked in our favor then. That's why none of these other trucks have been causing grief for us. And if we just jump over here, make sure everything's looking good. We're almost full on the black semi, that's all right. We'll have to go check on that red one. I'm surprised he's not back out here yet. So I have no idea why this truck is way down here trying to get to field 24. That seems a bit crazy to me. So I'm going to go ahead and start him back off. And we're going to go have to take a look at the auto drive course up here. Now, this truck is still doing the weird wheel thing. And I found on the other ones, when I came in and customized them, that changing the wheel setup was one of the things that helped with that. Let me see if that does it, or if they're still doing it when I change it. So see how my wheels are shiny and new now? I believe that somebody mentioned in the comments that it's the dirt mask that's making the wheels misbehave on these semis. I do still need to reach out to Mr. DuBois about that particular issue. But that does seem to confirm it when I change it. So if I wash my trucks, I wouldn't have the issue with my wheels either. But let's be honest, I'm not going to be able to keep them 100% clean all the time. We are in the middle of a silage harvest here, so yeah, we're going to have to live with it for now, and we'll see what we can do to get that patched up. Yeah, things aren't working so hot at the moment. We're gonna have to sort this out. All right, after some monkeying around, I have adjusted a bunch of the auto drive settings. I realized for some reason, and somebody mentioned this in the comments, so I think it was probably Godly Devil, I didn't have the restrict pathfinder to field and the unloader to field set for all of our semis here, and so I've gone through and made sure all of those settings are on each vehicle, because that is a vehicle level setting. And now we've got the black semi here on a Harvestor 2 dump, and then I've gone ahead and set the blue semi on the main farm here. He's about to dump into the farm, and I've got the red semi on the main farm dump as well. Now we've caught up with the two harvestors here, so I'm going to take over manually and shift him up to the lead one, because this one's not going to go anywhere until the lead one starts moving forward. So let's go ahead and get that going. And now that I've got him going, I think I can just go ahead and hit this button. He should just follow this lead semi, or this lead forage chopper. I'm not sure though. He says he's catching up, and I was kind of expecting him to just take off and start moving here. Let me try again. I'm gonna stop him. Maybe, is there another semi out in this field already? Not quite, so this should be the only one here. So let me see if we can get this guy to go again. I think he's probably trying to catch up with the other chopper here, which is unfortunate, but we've got another semi coming out here. Man, I was really hoping that was going to work. Well, either way, we're going to let the black one get out here. They'll figure it out. He's going to catch up. The other guy should catch up, and we should be good to go. I'm going to let these guys run for just a little bit while we take a look at the animal menu. As you can see, our slurry is getting dangerously full here, but we've been doing a great job of keeping the food moving. We don't have an auto drive course for this one yet. I really need to work on that at some point here, but we don't have enough room to really put all of that slurry into the biogas plant here just yet. We're gonna have to work on that, but I should be able to get the semi-load out. We might be able to get a semi-load in there. We'll have to go give that a shot here in a minute. But yeah, we're filling up the chaff on this thing rather quickly, and we're starting to get capped out on TMR here, which is a good problem to have. Our hay went a lot farther than I was expecting. I kind of thought we'd be running out of hay by now, which we haven't. So good news, good news. We're doing good here. Silo 2 is all capped off. Or that's extended silo 1. This is silo 2. We're gonna be good to go here. This is gonna be great. We're doing awesome, except for all this mess. That red truck did try to turn around and get back out there for the other one. So I guess let me turn these off. I'll get this all sorted out. Once we get these headlands off, this is not gonna be as big of a problem as it's been. But yeah, this is the issue with all of these ditches and stuff that you've got on maps like this. You love the realism, but at the same time, man, does it create some headaches with the AI workers. There you go. Go find your chopper. Get out of my hair. Oh, he's gonna do it again. Seriously. It's always something with you trucks. I'm gonna circle this guy around here. And I'm hoping when I start this one off, he's going to try and connect with that chopper. And then when I come and get this guy, because he's already trying to get to that chopper, I can just drag him out here. All right, come on, dude. You know how to do this. And there we go. We have finally got this all sorted out. Now, of course, he'll probably struggle with the corner again, because that's what happens. But he's going to figure it out this time. I have confidence. Awesome. All right. Well, we've got everything running now, and it should be going a lot more smoothly. Is that the blue semi out here in the ditch as well? Oh my goodness. I tell you, you have one little slowdown and everything's stuck on the wrong end of the field, and the whole operation just goes sideways. My apologies, folks. This is one of those things where I think I jinxed myself by saying we were all good to go here on this field, and that everything was running super smoothly, and then everything just fell apart. So I'm gonna let this guy, he's gonna drive back up here to the corner and get set up on the field. He'll be ready to pick things up when these other semis are full. Should work out. We did create a little bit of a course from that driveway so that the workers could take that driveway out of the field if they saw that as the closest available exit. Sometimes it helps to have a auto driver ring around the outside of a field too. We might start doing that here if we keep having problems. This big fields like this, sometimes it helps out. So if I end up with another vehicle in the ditch, I think we'll take the time to run a ring around the outside of this field and see if that helps out. So while we wait for our workers to do their thing, they've been running pretty smoothly since our last round of issues. I decided let's go ahead and get the feed workers going here again, get the auto drive going for barns A and B, but also I realized I can put some more feed into, I guess this is barn C to our left. But since I don't yet have an auto drive for it, I thought now's a perfect time to set that up. That way I don't have to keep thinking about it. So we'll top this guy off first, and then we're going to make an attempt to see if I can get a worker to drive through here. Now, it's a very tricky entrance for me when I'm driving through there, so I don't know if auto drive's going to be able to handle this or not. We're going to find out, though. But if we're going to do it, I'm realizing that I'm going to have to come at it at a little bit of a different angle. And so what I want to do is come off the side here a little bit, and we're going to create it like this, where my path is going to be at much more of an angle than typical. And then we're going to have to turn nice and tightly, line ourselves up very straight, and really hope that that doesn't happen. We hit it anyway. Like, I don't even know what I'm hitting. I feel like there's just some invisible collisions sometimes on all of this, but we're gonna have to try and get one more point in here. There we go. And we're gonna set this as barn B, or barn C. And I go ahead and have this dump out, and then I should probably just finish the course while I'm thinking of it, but we did not turn quite as wide as I wanted. I'm trying to get a good view of this. The camera is horrendous here. We're gonna have to do this from the outside, I suspect. I'm a little bit too much back to the right after we came in there, so I'm gonna try and keep this offset to the left a bit more, and then we'll finish making our course here, and then we'll further tweak it. There, we're all emptied out. Let's tweak this while I'm here. Try and keep it nice and centered. And then if I get an exterior view here, the ideal would be to make a left-hand turn here. So I'm going to pull out as far as I can and then start turning to the left, like so. And then I should be able to just reconnect right here. Gotta find my point underneath all of this, like this. And then let's see how it works for us. This part of the course should work splendidly, because we run through this quite often. And then while this is filling up, I'm going to make an attempt to have this be a little bit closer to our harvestor. See if I can get a wider swing on things as I come into our new point here. I don't know if that's going to be realistically feasible or not. Maybe I'll even have it connect there instead. I just have to be careful I'm not getting too close to this part of things. I think that's looking pretty good though. We'll find out in just a second. Actually, let's leave that on. I'm kind of curious to see how it handles this. All right, it's close, but no smashing into it. And this is close, but it's pulling in just fine. I'm not hitting anything. Oh, look at that. It worked. Well, I'll take it. This means that I could at some point get a third tractor and feed wagon going. Though I don't think that's really necessary. I can just handle flipping them back and forth between the points and keep everything moving. But yeah, that's going now. I'm excited. We've got, whoops, one more problem on the farm solved with some automation. And we've got more loads of chaff coming up, which means that everything back in the other field seems to be working as well. Let's finish emptying this slurry out of the semi and see if I can take this onto the tanks that need to be emptied. My goodness, I forget which barns were full. It looks like, oh, looks like everything's getting full. We're gonna go ahead and grab from barn B there, or barn A, I guess I should say. They're in a weird spot because C is this one over here closest to us, but I think barn B is the one that's all the way on the other side. I don't remember for sure. Either way, it's the two big barns that need to be emptied. Really doesn't matter which one we grab first, so I'm going to go ahead and get this moved over there and grab another load of slurry so that we can keep these barns moving, keep all these animals happy. And with this guy emptying out, I think it's time to take a look at what's going on with the rest of the farm here. Blue semi just pulled up for a gig with this guy. And of course, the black semi is actually stuck over here. Well, let's see if I can help a brother out, get him out of the ditch, and let's go. I think that this guy trying to exit all the way from the other side of the field here is proof that I need to start doing what everybody recommends, which is put the auto drive ring around the outside of our field to help our workers find their best way back to a road path and get going towards the farm. So we might go ahead and do that with this guy when we get done dumping, because that way I can keep the blue semi moving here, which is already out in the field, and our red semi's already heading out as well. That's just gonna keep us moving here on the farm. This is the only one that's still having that wheel problem, I think. The blue semi seems to be good. Nope, he's still got issues. I washed the truck using Easy Dev, and it didn't seem to fix those, so I don't know. It's such a weird issue. All right, we're gonna give this a shot. I think if I want to create a dual type road, I'm gonna hold down left control and hit record. And let me just see. Nope, that's not doing it. Delete. Delete. I'm gonna back up here, make sure that I'm tied to the right point, and then maybe it was just a simple right click. There we go. That should do what I'm looking to do. And perfect, we've got a course. I'm gonna drive all the way around the outside of this field. I'm not gonna care if we get a little bit on the field, because we don't have that much of a shoulder on the outside to have our trucks go on all the time, but it doesn't hurt to have the course be on or off the field just a little bit here for what we're trying to do. I think it's just going to look for the closest point when it's trying to find a way to get back to where it's going, and this is going to keep our trucks from trying to go off into the ditch when they're finding their way back to the road, which has been a recurring problem here. And because this is just a course around the outside of a field, I don't have to pay too close of attention to where we're driving here. It shouldn't get picked up and used for anything else, because there's not going to be any other connections in this loop to go anywhere. I am making it a two-way course though, just so that if a truck picks up the course, it doesn't have to go the one way around the field. It can go either way, and the vehicle should be able to sort that out. I'm not thinking it's going to lead to too many problems, but if we'd gone one way, it means that even if we were 5 feet away from the entrance, it could pick up the one-way course and have to drive all the way around the field, which would be a major problem. And we made it all the way around the field. I did hook up the driveway over on the other side, way over there, as we were driving around. No problem getting that going, and we're going to do the same thing here, where we're just going to connect this with this, and we'll do it two ways. That should be more than good enough now to kind of keep this going. I'm gonna go ahead and tell this guy to do his thing now. He's gonna wait here until somebody needs him. Let's turn off the auto drive markers though. That gets a little annoying sometimes. And take a look at how the rest of these trucks are doing. Looks like we're just transitioning into the final lands, or the final headland lap here, and then this should be this guy figuring out where to start the lands mode, I think, that we set up for the rest of this field. So I'm excited to finally be getting done with the headlands on this field finally. Oh my goodness, we've gotten so much chaff off of this field already, and there's so much more to go. And just taking a look at where we're at storage wise, we are got about one more load we can put in the main farm, and then this one keeps getting filled up because of how close together the two are. The trucks are having a hard time getting to the second one, so I've had to go over there and help auto drive out a little bit. That's a little bit annoying. Something I'll have to keep in mind next time is making sure that we put the dump triggers far enough apart that I can move from one to the next. Looks like we're starting to cut in here, and I'm not entirely sure why this guy's backing up right now. You know what? Let's just take over here and get him out of the way. The other semi is going to come out here and try and catch up and take over now because of this. That's okay, because we're almost full anyway. And this will give me a good chance to test out and see how our auto drive loop is working. See what happens when we fire this guy off to head back up to the farmstead there and dump into our harvesters. 95%. I think I turned my map off by accident at some point. Oh my goodness, did that truck go into a ditch again? It did. Why is it not using the auto drive course around the outside of the field to assist in figuring out where to go? These are the mysteries to me. I know a lot of people say that they prefer the auto drive unloader and AI logic over the courseplay one. Courseplay stutters a little bit sometimes. It takes longer to figure out where to go, but I find that I don't have nearly as many problems with it falling off the edges of the field and such, but maybe that's just because I haven't had a chance to really put it through its paces, and the courseplay unloader I don't believe works for unloading forage harvesters in the field here at all. But you know what? Let's maybe see if this will actually work. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put a marker in the field here. Active workers. These guys are doing field work. This thing just doesn't detect it as a combine, I don't think. What is this? I do not want whatever that is. Oh, maybe I do. Not spinnery. I have to click through them like this. Alright, steel silo 2. Combine. Man, what happens if I do this? Or if I put this in... This has got the auto drive mode on there. What happens if I do that? Nothing? Yeah, I don't think it's detecting these things as combines, which is unfortunate. It would be great if this actually worked, but it doesn't, so we're going to go ahead and just turn the auto drive one back on here and ignore courseplay for the time being. Unfortunate. I do look forward to, on our Tahitian County map, getting to use grain carts and the courseplay unloader for a change of pace. It should work out pretty well. Hopefully these guys aren't trying to switch. It looked like the blue truck was about to pull forward on me there, but we're good to go. And yeah, everything's moving and grooving here. So at this point, I think we're going to wrap up today's episode. We've gotten a lot of automation set up and working. We've had some frustration with it. It's not going quite as smooth as I had hoped, but it's still allowing me to get this giant field done a lot easier than I could do myself. And we've got a lot of chaff and feed coming in. We're keeping up with keeping the animals fed. Everything is looking great on that front. I'm excited that our auto drive course is working for all 3 barns now, and I can keep that feed topped off. So with that, that's going to be all for today. Ketterk out.